Deliveroo's new Freshness Promise covers your fresh and chilled groceries.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by
Hey, buddy, we can't hear you. Just letting you know. This is a takeover. Gila can't say anything. He can't stop us. It's no longer the Ronin Radio. It's now the Rocky Radio.
It is! Don't you worry! Bro, you know what it is? 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 You know what it is?
You're dumb?
No, fuck you. My mic stopped working because I made a Discord call which took the mic away from this website and the studio we're in.
Who was the idiot you called, man? Oh my god!
I wonder what for. You know, it will forever be
Who was
a
the
mystery.
idiot that you called? Oh my god!
It will forever be a mystery. Yo, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, welcome, bro. You locked in now. I know there was a little bit of higgledy-piggledy to get started, but we are live. It's the Ronin Radio. As I was mentioning before in the intros, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make it perfectly abundantly, absolutely, completely crystal clear that the Moses community is at the heart of the Ronin Radio. Ronin Radio is Moses. Moses is Ronin Radio. If you would like to join the community and be part of these conversations every single day, we are active there in that space. And the link is now recently updated in our Twitter bio. So go to our X profile, click that link, and you will join the Moses community. The initiation is beginning again to be part of that Moses community. Of course, you need some Moses tokens, and by God, do you want them? Like you do. This is the Alpha Central. But today, we've got so many things happening on the Ronin Radio, and of course, the main show feature is going to be a conversation with Derek over at Uncharted and Fishing Frenzy. They have actually launched new game modes. We're leaning more into this risk to earn meta. We're seeing it blossom, right? You've seen it go around the ecosystem. A lot of games are pivoting towards it. You've seen Pixels do it in the last few days as well. Is this the way to go? You know, we're going to start the show off kind of answering some of these questions. But before that, let me just tell you all that is available right now on the Ronin network. So if we rewind 2 months ago when I was saying, yo, I'm bored, bro, like coach, I'm tired, like all these things, now there's no excuse. There is no excuse. Season 14 for Axie Infinity Origins is underway. Now I know somebody next to me, he don't really do the rare era, but the season is well underway and the rewards have been shifted over there. So I made a tweet about it last night, and just discussing what's going on. The rewards used to feed 15,000 of the top players. That has been pushed all the way down to the top 2,000 players only, which means rewards are now a lot more rewarding. You know, fucking wow. But it took some time. We spoke about it a lot. We pushed it. The community's pushed it. They have listened. They have heard, and the feedback is being implemented. So there's a lot more rewards in Axie Origins right now, each era, and the rare era is well and truly underway. On top of that, if you're not a total competitive player, you don't feel like you're gonna be in those top 100 spots, you're still, as a collector, are going to be able to get some rewards. So competing in the season will get you those reward chests, and they've added 2,000 AXS to that rewards chest pool. So more rewards essentially will be going out for collectors alone. So Axie Origins on its way. There's an opportunity. Jump in if you're an Axie OG. Then it should feel nice to have some reason to open up that game again. High risk to reward game mode in Fishing Frenzy, as we are going to speak about later today. So go load up your accounts. I actually haven't logged in for a few weeks, maybe a month or so. So today is the day I'm going to do that. Ronky rice farming is live right now. The rice is nice. To be honest, bro, rice at $11 yesterday is pretty fucking crazy. Currently farming about 580 rice a day. Of course, where will things go? Who knows? If you can figure that math out, then you're a genius. But rice farming is live. I mentioned it briefly. Pixels introduces a new game mode with their arcade. It is like the Neon Zone, I think they call it. So yeah, bit of a risk to earn aspect there too. Mini games to play. You put up some pixels at the front, and then you can reward yourself with more pixels on the back end. So go and test that out if you haven't. Play Cambria releases their dual arena documentations earlier this week. It will go live. I think if it's not live already, it will be at some point this week. Shout out to Ben Z and big up my boy Logic as well, working over there. If you need more information, go to the Play Cambria Discord. Things that have gone under the radar. Calamity right now is a game that's been on Ronin for a while. I actually did a long stream on it earlier in the year. I think it is a really good game, but they have just launched on Steam as well, so you can download the game from there, and it is in open beta. Some of the NFTs are starting to kick in for rewarding players in their ecosystem. So if you want a new game to check out, Play Calamity is one of those things I will put on the list. As you know, Kitty has been killing it. We've been advocates of Kitty for the last month or so. Congratulations. We actually have someone on the team right next to me. Kitty World Season 1 of the Tamer missions will end on the 15th of August. So there's still time to go and farm some of those materials. Crafting is going to take place soon. And where it goes from there, who knows? But these are important moments. These are important times. Shout out to the Kitty World. Anything you got to say on that, Tim? You want to add on that?
I mean, you said so much, and then you just like throw me in there. But yeah, like, are we talking about Kitty World, or are we talking about everything else?
Just Kitty World, bro. Kitty World.
Right. No. Yeah, man, it's exciting. Like, you know me, I'm very extremely selective. Like people who I work with. I think, when was it? It was like right after the Ronin Radio episode when we had them on, right?
Yeah.
And I remember that was crazy because they had like sub 2K mints at the time for their tamers, and it was like a 6,666 mint. And if you guys were here listening to that episode, I was like, yo, you guys are real builders, you guys are legit. Like right after that episode, I hit them up. I was like, hey, let's talk. Like I wanted to help these guys, I want to figure out like what we can do in Ronin better, because we are talking how real builders don't get the spotlight, in Ronin, right? like some people come in and then they were in a space where people are skeptical about individuals and so on and so on. So I got on that call. It was a really nice call. Talked about a little bit of the problems that they're having, what could happen. And these are super cool dudes, by the way, especially like off like off the like
Off live, I guess.
off live. Yeah, off live. They're like super cool. Really funny guys. Vibed with them, and then so we came up with a few strategies and things like that that could work. They implemented it like this. Like it wasn't like I blinked and they already did it. Whatever we were talking about, and that made me mega bullish because I talk with a lot of teams, right? And sometimes they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea," and then you will never hear from them ever again.
Yeah.
They will never do anything. It's just like goes through 1 year out the other, right? These guys went and did it, and then you instantly saw the trajectory like of their minting. Like they started to pick up steam quickly, right? And this, mind you guys, this mint that was out for 4 months, right? This is 3.5 months in. They only had less than 33% minted, and then in the last 2 weeks they minted out everything, and these mints you get, they come revealed, so it's not like it's in some kind of a capsule and then there's like people are speculating where something special could be. They already come out revealed, and then the floor price doubled after the mint out. Okay, so people were minting this for like $7 to $10, and now it's doubled. Like it's crazy how just a little bit of shifting here and there, a little bit more belief can just like change the perspective of people's on a project.
Yeah, 100%, bro. It's like one of the horses I'm backing here on Ronin at the moment because I really think the team has a lot of capabilities and they're in a great position. So shout out to everyone that is in the Kitty World ecosystem and supporting them too. I think big things are coming around the corner. But like I said, missions end August 15th. You got about a week left to get your missions in and get those materials collected because crafting comes next, and there's more documentation on their website if you want to go check more of that out. You can also ask Quora as well, their AI system that basically queries. You put them in, they come out, you know the answer. It's all happening over there. But shout out to Kitty World. There is some more stuff occurring. One of the interesting things I saw, and big shout out to the community builders at Realms, they actually held their first like open dev stream to their Discord members. It was really cool what they did. They actually put their faces on like a screen and played with the characters in front of that screen. So they're just like really creative, and I'm excited to see how creative they get in the future. Obviously, as the game opens up, like how you can integrate that with streamers content as well. There's a lot of cool stuff happening out there. But shout out to all the Kojin holders. Kojin Floor holding nicely as well. Another great NFT in the Ronin ecosystem. Primo's Warriors as well. They actually started their Sandcastle race. So you can actually send your Primos on missions, quite similar to the Kitty World setup. So that has actually happened. We still have some Primo Warriors to give out. Maybe we will do so today on the show for those in the audience. Sabong Saga is doing really, really well as well. Preseason 0 is live. They're gathering, man. The community is gathering around them. And also one of the best performing NFTs on Ronin this half, well, the first half of the year, I will say. So keep your eye on that project. They're constantly building, and they seem to have a good core community of holders that are not paper handing those cocks, mate. They're holding on to their cocks very strong. There's a few more. Planet Horse game. They have a new update. So if you haven't heard of Planet Horse, we actually had conversation with them behind the scenes. Maybe a feature on the show at some point. If you want to dive into more information, we'll do that for you. Cyberverse as well, another game that's been on Ronin for a long time. But they actually have a Cardano Ronin bridge, which is really interesting because you can bridge their NFTs over there. So are there more NFT holders from different ecosystems coming to Ronin? That is the question, potentially. But shout out to the team behind that. They actually were really welcoming when I tried their game out earlier this year. And then finish it all off, there have been updates to the Water Dino raffle in Craft World for Angry Dynamites. Of course, all their assets are now on chain. And if you're in there, you're in there, bro. I know the people that are playing Angry Dynamites game itself, Craft World. They're deep in the trenches of that. So if you're one of those people, you'll know about this. If you're not and you're trying to get involved with the game itself, there are some opportunities right now with those Water Dino raffle tickets. So man, take advantage of it. But so many things to do in Ronin. I had to list them all off. I think we're getting to that point where there's so much happening. It's hard to stay on top of things. So if we expose some information to you today that gives you a new angle to work in Ronin, then you're fucking welcome, my friend. But
Well,
yeah,
how about you
great.
name your top 3 right
My
now?
top 3 right now.
Yeah.
The loyalist in me, of course, Axie. I played a few games yesterday. It felt good to be back playing Origins with a purpose. Not so focused just on bounty boards, really just like enjoying the competitive side of the season in the early phases, getting runes and charms back in, all the min-maxing that happens there. So Axie's got to be up there for me, and I want it to do well this season so that the team lean even more so into the non-wide narrative. If it performs well, I think it's a good indicator that we're kind of right on that front. So Axie's got to be up there for me because I'm participating in it. Of course, Ronki rice farming. Shout out to all my Ronkies. I'm just interested to see how it goes and how the ecosystem of this influences Ronki as well, the token. Sushi's made some interesting posts saying like it's like a way to stake Ronki on steroids, and there's intricacies in there, but just looking for this to do really well. I think Ronkis deserve some food more so than just rice. So it's got to be in my list. And then an easy one for me here to add in the third slot has got to be Kitty World. I'm just excited to see where this project goes. And I've actually been doing the tamer missions since the jump. Every day, I'll do 2 24-hour missions and then 2 12-hour missions, and that's where I'll max out on my tamer holdings. So it's been like a routine thing for me. So they end 15th of August, and I've collected quite a lot of materials, so I'm locked in to see where it goes next, to be honest. But there's a few things on that list though that I would add to the things that I'm doing day to day, but they're definitely those are my top 3. What about yourself, bro? Because I know you probably are not doing the same things as me, right? Like you be elsewhere.
I mean, I'm here. Like the thing is, right as of right now, in my current work contracts, all that stuff, it's I would say it's all in Ronin now, right? People have been talking a lot about like how games are doing, right? And like who's surviving, dying, whatever. I feel like a lot of games outside of Ronin can have kind of gone quiet, just from like what I've seen. But now that the dust has kind of settled, we're starting to see where the real builders are, who has still stuff in the war chest, and like these communities are starting to like have more impact and talk more publicly and like be like, yo, this is what we're doing, blah 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 blah. Like nothing changed for them between 2024 and now, right? So I would say like I'm really bullish on all those. Like if including Axie, that's just not fair, man. I can't include Axie. Axie is just a go, But like some of the other games, obviously, that I'm mega bullish on right now is like that's especially coming up is Realms, Cambria. Obviously, I like Kitty. Kitty is gonna be like multiple experiences. It's not gonna be like one game that's gonna just be like wow everyone. It's gonna be a bunch of different experiences. So everyone has some opportunity to play something. It's more like mini games more than anything else, and other stuff, right? Like Kitty is not about just games. There's like other real world things that are gonna be coming to that. And then I swear I'm missing one. Then there are other games like that are coming back, like Wall Forest, right? Wall Forest is coming back from like death essentially. So that's another good one. And then we got Fishing Frenzy we're going to be talking about today, who's also been kind of like these underdogs essentially from the get-go, but have completely overperformed, I would say, right? So yeah,
a lot of exciting things happening here, bro. I was just thinking about the chat today, and reading through all the things that's happening with Fishing Frenzy. There's so many interesting angles to go from this. Of course, the risk to earn meta has a lot of scope that we can go into.
Table board. That's what I was forgetting. That's another one.
We're always no, it's me. We're always asking when Fableborn seasons start, bro. Like I feel like we've been asking when for like 2 months now. It's got to be soon.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. I understand why they're delaying stuff, because they have like certain strategies in place, and you know all these games are actually lacking devs. Okay, I talked to a bunch of games recently, and they all tell me the same thing. They're lacking devs, but it's not like they can just go out and get skilled devs, because they're also extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Right. So these games are trying to keep a low overhead, but also trying to get what they need. So we just got to be a little bit more patient. For me, like as long as they're surviving, that makes me happy. I think we're gonna find the answer pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to everyone that's in chatting with us right now. Ghosting, if you want to find out how to do the Kitty Tamer missions, hop in Moses today. I'll definitely show you. Robocop makes a good point actually about Craft World, how it's testing the Ronin chain with the transaction volume. You know what the craziest thing is? I don't feel like I've felt any disruption. And if the transaction number has like considerably gone up, because of Craft World, then that's a good thing, because not noticing any difference of performance is actually, you know, that's really important, right? So but we are gonna move on to the main portion of the show today, talking with Derek. As I was saying though, I think there's just interesting avenues to go down. We can talk about risk to earn, his perception on that, and even his experience of like hearing the community talk more about this, seeing the success of things like Cambria. Also, though, the treasure involvement with the agents, the agentic facilitation, having a companion that essentially fishes for you, plays the game for you in some way, and maybe maybe we could probe and prod Derek to see if he knows a little bit more about treasure and what they may be doing, because I think the collaboration with Ronin and the amount of like Treasure has collaborated with a couple ecosystems, right? Like namely, I've seen them partner with Abstract, and they have their Smallverse happening right now. But I feel like the partnership with Ronin is a little bit more spicy, because there's so many more experiences for them to actually deliver value and prove, what their essentially what their value case is to the market with their implementation. So there's it's in a path that I'd like to explore, even just know how has it been working with them. So we're going to open up that conversation here. We're just making sure that Derek is ready backstage. But I opened up Fishing Frenzy for the first time today, and it was that music hit me again, and I thought, oh yeah, we're back. We are back. But without further ado, let's get into the main portion of today's show. And we're grateful for Derek making the time and being here today. But welcome to the Ronin Radio, Derek from Fishing Frenzy, maybe.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, how you guys going?
We're good. I'm doing well. How's things?
Good. Busy as usual. Like things are always busy, but it's good. It's exciting. Some major launches today, so it was good fun seeing the positive community response and just people having fun with all the new content that we pushed out.
Now, I know you're locked in when you're sitting there with that whiteboard in the background, bro. You are all the way locked in.
Yeah, there's some secret stuff on there. Try to blur it out a bit.
Yes, that's good. It's good. Welcome, man. Of course, like you said, just launched features with Fishing Frenzy this week. New game modes, really expanded the product, which is something we spoke about earlier on in the year. I think it was even potentially January, February times. So I'm glad to see this coming to fruition. Interested to see the community's take on it as well. But I mean, to start it off, I think the best way to go about this is to give you the floor, Derek, and kind of give the details on everything that has been shipped this week.
Yeah, for sure. So just like zooming back a little bit, I'm one of the co-founders of Uncharted. We're basically building financial entertainment. So our thesis within crypto gaming is that we think like money should be part of the fun. So we're trying to build games where money is part of the fun, and that's been the theme throughout everything we've done. So we've built a few games before on various chains. Fishing Frenzy is one of them. It's the game that our team's most focused on. It's kind of like a cozy mobile RPG game inspired by Stardew Valley, RuneScape, and Dave the Diver. And today we actually launched a few things. So the first big thing that we launched was diving. And so this is kind of like a risk to earn mini game. Think battleships meets mines. So kind of like simple, a little bit of decision making, very quick to play, and yeah, players can kind of like risk to get rewards. And then the second thing that we introduced was what we're calling rift encounters. So the idea is that right now players are able to go in and fish and play this like skill-based mini game to try to catch fish. Now there's also, for a limited time only, there's a chance that you'll encounter a special fish, like a rift encounter. And if you collect all 5 of these special rift encounters, then you'll be able to trade that in for a pet. So it's kind of like a limited event that we're running right now.
Nice. Yeah, the pets have actually been really useful, right? You implemented them or their ability to actually catch fish for you as well. So like the more pets, the better ultimately. All right. So yeah. That's a nice little hidden gem. I didn't actually know that catching all the rift fish is going to get you something exclusive like that. And forgive me if I'm mistaken here. Are you able to trade pets? There's a market for pets.
You can't trade pets right now. No.
Okay. Is that like somewhere down the line intended?
Yeah, I think we've mentioned before that we plan to make them tradable. We just want to make sure that we get it right, and the market doesn't get flooded too much. But yeah, in general, I think we've got a few other things working on right now, probably before that, but we do plan to make them tradable. So that's in the backlog somewhere.
Cool, absolutely. I thought one of the good things we could do today, before we get into a lot of deep conversation, is actually play diving, live here in front of the audience, because I haven't played it yet. I've seen a video of it. I saw your video and JW's video. Shout out to JW. She's dope as well. But I'd like to give it a spin live on the show today. Yeah. And maybe Derek, mate, you could give me the alpha. You could give me the I don't know, the best tips here. I know certain things you have to kind of uncover all of it for it to be revealed as well. And I don't know the shapes. I think the shape.
Yeah, I mean it's super simple. I'm sure you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly.
I don't know. I'm pretty smooth brained, Derek, but we'll find out today.
Perfect.
I'm gonna. I think I've got like 2 run in the account, because you have to deposit the run into.
Yeah, just use gold to give it a go. I think.
Let's go then. We're diving.
If you give me your ID, I can send you some gold as well if you want to.
Let's
do
go.
This a bit more.
Let's go. Do I have sushi? No. Anyway, we got 10 moves. 10 moves to make it happen. So we were talking about it. Battlefish/Mines. Mines, the OG game. If you had a first computer, you were playing pinball and you were playing Mines and probably Solitaire as well. But it brings you back. So essentially, you got this grid, right? And I got to click on a square and pray that I land on something that isn't a whirlpool, right? So
pretty much. So there's 2 things you can land on. Well, there's 3. Like one's like just empty like that. Second is going to be a whirlpool, which you don't want those. If you land on 2 of those, you'll die. And then you can also land on coral. And if you land on a coral, you want to uncover the entire coral to get the reward within it. So yeah, that's a coral. That's part of a coral, and you need to kind of uncover the rest of it.
Okay. It's got to be down here.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Boom.
Give me that. What? Derek.
There's one more on the bottom left, I think. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. And we got one more spot. We're probably not getting anything. If we get one of those one spotters, I'm goated.
There's so you can see it you see there's a little like there's a 4 next to a little purple like picture there.
Yes.
That means there's 4 coral left.
Demon, eeny, meeny, miny, mo with me. Are we going in this area or no? Yes or no?
When there's one left, I like to do like in the corner. But
that might be alpha.
It's hard for the big tiles, the big coral to be there, but who knows?
I'm taking it. No, okay. We got this. We got the biggest thing on the board. I actually my return on investment was 1
You're
sushi. Up. I'm up. I'm up, boys. We're up. But
you're up in
this
gold
is
as well. Yeah.
This is an element to Fishing Frenzy that like this expands the experience. You know, of course, fishing is either you can get it done really fast by stacking 5 times in the each reel, and although it was a good element to be in the game for a short amount of time for a lot of people, expanding the experience now is really interesting. So let's go into a deeper conversation here about the idea. You know, you launch this is a new game mode. Rift is in there too. But I think that the idea of what Fishing Frenzy is to become is something that does well or serves well to deliver to a lot of the community here.
Yeah, I mean, the way we're thinking about it is we're trying to build this like deconstructed RPG. So we're kind of thinking from the ground up, right? Like, what kind of experiences do people want to interact with? And we think that people like very simple experiences that are very easy to access, very easy to understand. You know, they kind of people like the idea of this like MMO, but people also don't have time to actually do a lot of that, right, these days. And so what we want to do is we want to build out, and this is where kind of the inspiration comes in, like the RuneScape element of the inspiration is we kind of want to build out one skill at a time in this game. And so we started off with fishing. We then added in cooking. So you would catch fish and then you can actually cook the fish. And we've now added in diving, and you actually can cook fish to get sashimi and actually use that on your dives, right? To give you more moves in the dives. And so we're kind of slowly building out this world where everything interacts, and every time we add in one new layer to the game, it appeals to the idea is it appeals to a slightly different audience, and all the layers intersect. So for example, like if you just want to cook, you're going to need to interact with the people who are fishing because you need to buy the fish to cook. And so there's that dependency between the different game loops or like different ways to play is what creates the economy. And we think that's a lot of fun for a lot of people, which is the fact that you can trade these assets. And, you know, the point of the economy is that people doing different things. And so diving is really important for us because it helps us expand to kind of like different type of gameplay for different types of players. And we plan to kind of continue to do so. And that's kind of the thesis for us for Fishing Frenzy.
I got 2 questions for you then. One, for the diving, is there a limited amount that you can dive per day? Is it like some kind of like an energy for it, or you can have unlimited diving as long as you buy it?
You can have unlimited diving. So there's no limit apart from like the resources that they have. There's no limit.
Okay, and I guess my second question then becomes, you know, with how risk to earn, I saw like okay, you can buy in for some RON or gold, and then obviously you can get less rewards than, you know, if you don't uncover right enough. So what kind of like math did you guys do with that, right? Like, is this like how is it? Like what you know, if you're allowed to share this.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So the game is not pure luck. There's like a little bit of decision making, right? Like you have to decide. You know, not maybe there's certain spaces that are slightly more likely to have coral or not based on the shape, or like, you know, maybe once you've hit one whirlpool, you need to decide, do you want to risk it? Maybe you hit another one, or do you want to get more rewards before you leave? So there's some like decision making involved, like very simple, but also keeps it interesting. So there's no like specific like return like in like typical like casino games. So what we've done around the math is we just like simulated, ran lots of simulations, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of scenarios, and like made different assumptions about how players would play, and use that to kind of balance. And I think it may not be perfectly balanced, especially since we just launched it. And so we're also now looking at how players actually behave based off, and then we'll probably compare that to what we think would happen. So we're going to be looking at that, and we've got data streaming in, so we'll be able to make adjustments as needed.
Interesting. Like I can see games like this where, you know, in the future they become kind of like dynamic based on like your habitual movements, and then like there's like an AI in the background that's like constantly adjusting where stuff are going and stuff like that. So yeah, it's cool because obviously my gamer brain goes and thinks is like, okay, well, what are the size of these corals? How do they align? Can I game this, right? Because if there's a way to game this like from day one, then like I have a potential to earn. Like that's why I asked, is there an energy system, right? Because maybe it's a good thing to have an energy system in the first like couple of weeks while you're testing to see like if anyone has like an insane win rate when they shouldn't, right? And so on. So that's kind of like
I mean,
why I
it's
was thinking about it.
like theoretically possible. And like, you know, the automation and testing that we did is probably not going to be smarter than a human playing, just because we have to make like assumptions. But yeah, we'll see quickly from the data.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, man. But it makes me wonder as well. Like a lot of the space has been pivoting towards the risk to earn meta. You know, for the opportunity for revenue streams, it seems to have done or served well elsewhere. I was wondering, was there like inspiration for that, and also like what is your take really on risk to earn as like this new kind of term that we're coining, evolving into Web3 games?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting term. I think it like pretty accurately describes what a sustainable model looks like in crypto games, because like this argument comes up a lot, but not everyone can make money. And so usually someone's making money, someone's losing money, maybe their skill, luck, whatever involved. So it kind of makes sense. I think I don't know if that term itself will catch on a lot, just because I think people might not like the word risk. Risk is bad. Or people associate risk with being bad, and so it might not be as catchy from a marketing perspective. So I don't know if it'll catch on that much. But yeah, like I think it's a pretty interesting concept. And I think it kind of reflects the crypto itself, like the game of crypto itself. Like I see crypto itself as a big game. Everyone's like trying to play. Everyone's in the space is pretty motivated by profit, I think. But they're also willing to take risks. Right?
I love it.
Take bets.
He called us all degens in a very nice way.
Yeah, like everyone in the
that's
space
exactly
is a
how a
degen,
founder
right?
gotta talk. You know, you gotta be like, hey guys, look, you guys are all just motivated by different things. I love it.
But yeah, it's a fun model as well. Like I think, and it's not just crypto, right? Like I think the outside of crypto, people are more and more into financial entertainment, more and more into taking risks, like sports gambling, rapidly increasing. Even like physical gacha boxes, like my partner's buying Lubus, and like that's kind of like similar idea.
What would you like to call it if not risk to earn? Is there a terminology that you would like to like? I'm sure you've thought about this because of
I was thinking
marketing.
chance.
Chance-based games. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure. I think risk to earn is okay. I think like for us, for Fishing Frenzy specifically, we wanted to add that element into the game. So we wanted to do that through diving rather than have the entire game follow this model. Because I think part of the risk in this model as well is that if people start to lose, they might not come back. And so it's also hard. Like you get this problem in poker as well, which you could argue is like a risk to earn game, where if all the poker fish leave, then the people who are actively playing as much, it becomes harder, less rewarding, and so on. And so I think there's still challenges with the model, but it's definitely helps in terms of sustainability.
Yeah. I think I was reading the chat, Kagyu saying it is just play to earn, and there's elements of the word play anyway that inherently involves risk within it too. So, really to strengthen the play to earn narrative, we've had a lot of flip-flopping and combat between play for fun, play to earn, all that stuff. And I really think now is like the resurgence of play to earn. And this is just a method or a technique in which, it's more sustainable approach to the play to earn narrative.
I think like play to earn gets way more searches and eyeballs, right? I think that's like no one's gonna Google risk to earn games.
And also,
Um,
the other one that has a lot of searches that we've seen circulating a lot now is crypto games versus Web3 games.
Yeah, the Web3 gaming
yeah.
is not
So-
like people aren't searching it. I think you only know Web3 if you're in Web3 though, right? Like,
What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
that? Like, for example, did you go to your team and we're like, hey guys, from now on, we're gonna call ourselves a crypto game. So every
I
time
mean,
someone searches
we've
crypto game,
been doing that for a while. Like it's the search terms have been like that for a while. Like
Yeah.
Web3 has only been really used on CT, and if you look at like Google search trends, it's always been higher.
crypto games.
So even in a lot of my like own tweets, I try to use crypto gaming more, but like I mean, it doesn't really matter on Twitter.
Yeah.
But
I actually avoid
Yeah.
Web3 gaming now, like the
Yeah.
plague. Like when I'm typing it out, I always now use crypto games. But
No, I mean, I'll tell you guys this. Like, I noticed it the last week. I think I wrote crypto game in a tweet. Like, it's the first time ever I wrote crypto game, right? Like, I come from Web 2. I got a background in like Dota, whatever, and stuff. And like, the people I work with hate crypto. Like, literally hate it. Like, people have, like, ended relationships with me because I got into like Axie and the crypto world, like from Dota that I've known for years, like good friends. So when I wrote crypto game last week, I noticed that my feed started to change. You know, the For You tab, right? So usually I spend it on like following, but like sometimes I go on For You if it's a slow day on your following tab. I go to my For You and suddenly I'm starting to see like smaller accounts that are active in other ecosystems. After that one tweet I made where I said crypto game, unless they changed the whole algorithm themselves, but I doubt that, right? It's the only thing that was different because, as a creator or like someone who tweets a lot, you got to check like when things are changing depending on what you say. And I did notice a change. So maybe CT is also affected, right? Maybe CT puts us in the crypto gaming bubble, but like you got to trigger it by saying the right words.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's weird.
something else that's really interesting with Fishing Frenzy and just Ronin in general, right? The recent Treasure DAO partnership. Of course, there is a collaboration happening with you guys at Fishing Frenzy and Treasure. We don't know a lot, right? We've seen the announcement. We've seen accounts like Axie, stand by the announcement, push the announcement themselves, and there's also collaboration to happen there. There's other projects in this ecosystem that also have that in their arsenal to come. You guys made that partnership. I wonder if you'd be able to tell us a little bit more about what that partnership is going to be doing and how important you think it actually is, because the next wave of crypto gaming and gaming in general, I think, is like this surge of improvement and implementation of agents or artificial intelligence in games themselves.
Yeah. I'm happy to share with you guys. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but I'll just say some stuff. So yeah, I mean, they like Treasure is like coming to Ronin. I'm pretty sure they've announced that they're working with a bunch of projects. I think we are the first project that is partnered up with them, probably for a few reasons. One is that we're pretty supportive of agents in games, whereas maybe some other games aren't as supportive. And then secondly, we have like a live game where the agents can actually thrive and play. So that kind of cuts out some other projects as well. So yeah, we're working pretty closely with their team. They've been working pretty hard to get agents out, and so yeah, we'll be doing some fun stuff for them, and also some fun stuff for our players to be able to give them like exclusive access and stuff like that. I think the idea behind agents, I think, is super interesting. Like it has a lot of potential. For me, it reminds me a lot of kind of like Axie Scholars in 2021, where you have these people that are time poor but capital rich, and they're looking to like deploy and like make plays, and like they like to play the metagame, or they just like to breed. Like there's like that certain type of group of players, and agents is almost like the next iteration of that. but now they're dealing with like tech instead of people, which is even more scalable, more efficient. There's different ways to tune it and like train it and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of the potentially like the next big wave of interest could be through like agents, right?
Sorry to interject here, but when you say it like that, it triggers things on my mind. Like and this is a really this is a heavy question, admittedly, but do you think the next wave then has the potential to be larger than the initial wage where it was scholarships because of that scalability?
Yeah, I mean, larger in what sense, right?
Volume, simply.
Yeah,
simply
I mean,
put.
potentially. I think it's going to be so. The agents are somewhat similar to bots, which I think as a game developer you can't ever fully stop bots from being in your game. If it's profitable for someone to run bots or just run multiple accounts manually, they will go and do that, and they'll be smart about it. They're doing this 24/7 across multiple projects. It's really hard for developers to fight that at a technical level. And agents is kind of the even more advanced version of that in a way. And so I think it's kind of up to developers to almost embrace, accept that that's going to happen and just design accordingly.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. But I do think that there is a potential for massive volume if things converge. And so I think that's part of the reason that we're excited to partner up with Treasure as well. They're a good team. They're kind of moving quickly. I think there's some pretty interesting things that agents would be able to do in Fishing Frenzy, because it's actually there are quite a few things that you can do in the game. And players may just want to automate and kind of play that rather than play the game itself, or they'll do both, or they'll do whatever they want, right? It'll be interesting to see. But we're kind of democratizing botting in a way, which is how I'm thinking about it.
Well, what you're doing is evening out the playing field, essentially, right? Right now, it's you got these games, these P2As and whatever. It's there's one guy or two guys who will farm the whole thing, and they will be the ones who will suck all the liquidity out. Now you're giving an opportunity for everyone to fight evenly. I probably, if I'm gonna turn this into a narrative, I probably wouldn't say this is the next iteration of scholarships, right? Mainly because when I hear that, it kind of when I look at it that way, it kind of sounds very soulless, right? As a purpose of it. Whereas if it's more so, okay, here is a way that you guys can fight bots and you guys can have an even playing field, because these guys are gonna bot games anyway. In the history of gaming, no one has ever been able to defeat bots, essentially. I think that's something we can push on and we can get behind. And it's quite similar to the automation some of the Web 2 gacha games have, right? With some of their battling systems, because they know most of them are whales and they don't want to sit there and play a game for 10 hours, but they want the outcome of 10 hours of gameplay, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, people love autoplay. People love these. It's a common system.
Yeah. I was just thinking in my mind, it's you know how with developers you have white hats and black hats, and the gaming industry at the moment in terms of bots and the extraction process that goes on, we only have black bots, and the agents essentially allows you to have a form of the white bots. I mean, it's not believe me, the analogy is not, it's not succinct as I'd like it to be, but ultimately we get to fight the good fight, but with a way that is advancing experiences and how applications, how we use applications as well. And I just think narrative wise, above and beyond just gaming and just crypto gaming particularly, is that AI is going to be at the peak of interest, and the ways that you can utilize it this is one of those ones that I think could capture people, and bring them back towards an industry, which is henceforth why I asked the question whether you thought it would be there's a potential for a bigger scale of influence than we saw with the whole scholarship method. But it's really
AI is huge, right? I use it almost every day. And I'm sure a lot of other people use it a lot now as well. And it's I think Trevor said this: if you can't beat them, join them. So that's kind of what we're thinking of doing.
I'm gonna be cheeky though, ask questions here. The implementation of AI agents, of course, this is probably sensitive information. If you don't want to reveal, then by all means, this is the part of the show where I tell our guests you are more than welcome to tell me to fuck off, Derek. But how does that implementation happen? Is this going to be available for everybody? Will it be gated by, I guess, participation already, or purchasing or minting an NFT, those types of things? How are you like looking at that aspect of having an agent?
So, yeah, I mean, I think Treasure is doing a lot of the work here, and I think right now we can probably expect something similar to what they have now. What they have right now is that NFTs, you need like an NFT that's whitelisted to create an agent. They don't want people just like creating millions of them. So you do need an NFT, and so I think you can expect probably a lot of the partners that they've announced would like they'll be eligible in terms of their collections, and there's existing collections that are already eligible as well. I think someone mentioned a creators agents. Trevor might have mentioned that. So yeah, like creators are going to have some agents that you can like. You can also mint agents as well if you want to use them. So yeah, I think that's how you'll get access. Although they might. This is like subject to change. They might change it. So that's kind of my understanding.
Wow. I mean, that's really interesting as well for an alpha for anyone that's in the community and listening in today, because essentially that model, I'm kind of seeing Treasure as like the filter that you go through into experiences, which presents, if you ask me, a fuck ton of value to the gate in which Treasure will essentially be for that. So very, very interesting. But how's it been, working with Treasure right now?
Yeah, it's been fun. Like I think they did a pivot, right? Like before they were kind of doing publishing, they pivoted into AI. Yeah, I mean the team's good, like super responsive. We've been working pretty close together, trying to help them understand the game and like ways to integrate and work together on some of the distribution ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, they've been pretty good partners to work with. So I'm looking forward to when it gets shipped and seeing what people do with it.
I got a question then. So we saw some partnerships they made with the creators, right? What, apart from just marketing reasons, what would be the point of partnering with a creator over partnering with an actual gamer who knows how to game things and like make AIs actually useful for gaming?
I mean, look at the creators they partnered with.
I guess it's the wrong person to ask. That was something that's going through my brain. Forget the question, okay? Because I was thinking about, because this is a question for Treasure, right? I didn't understand the whole concept, like why content creators instead of like actual gamers. You know what I mean? I'm not really connecting the dots. But I will ask you this, Derek. What would you say is like Fishing Frenzy's, like, if there was one thing that you guys need or you feel like you gotta improve on, right? What would that be? Like I kind of try to ask this question to like people who come on, because not only some transparency but also to get a little bit of an insight, because everything is not easy, right? Like when it comes to being a founder and building things and so on. Like what would you say is like a current something you guys are working on, or like a struggle or something that you're trying to overcome?
Yeah, I mean we're working on a lot of things. I would say the things that come to mind would be first, like where we want to grow, right? Like I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. I think we're like the third or fourth biggest game on Ronin, like very active community, active economy that's like sustainable, willing along. But we want to be a lot bigger, right? So we're thinking a lot about growth and what it takes to grow. Like our goal is not to grow a small amount. We kind of want to ask ourselves, how can we like 10x from where we are here?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the big challenge and question, like what bets we need to make to have that happen. So yeah, and then I think we also like want to win together with the community as well. And so that's like not easy, particularly given how how sentiment around gaming is right now.
Yeah.
Just it's like quite challenging for a lot of projects. So that's something that we're trying to think about as well, which is like, how do we succeed despite the current conditions of the gaming industry more broadly and like sentiment more broadly?
Okay, cool.
Is there, have you uncovered things throughout the year? Like, is there anything you've taken away from the year of, like, what's your take on the crypto gaming sentiment anyway? Like, is it just like, you know, obviously you have a lot of core focus on your own projects. But like when you do take a step back and you look at the industry, like how have you felt about it this year? We're in the second half of the year. I think arguably the first half of the year was pretty, well, hugely underperforming of what people expected of 2025. But like from your own personal point of view, like how are you seeing it now? Because I feel like momentum's coming back personally, but just curious to see your take on the space.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still low sentiment, I would say, on gaming. I think the reason is, so like earlier in the year, maybe like late last year, there was a bit of like a bump, I think. But then games didn't perform. I guess specifically like game tokens didn't perform very well, and then people judge the industry on like the token performance. So the price goes down, like it's dead, right? And so that's kind of how the space works. So like I think given that's the performance of particularly like maybe some of the bigger projects, a lot of people like, you know, they're gonna carry the industry, right? Like they're gonna do really well. They're gonna launch and like the gaming's gonna have a bull run. That didn't end up happening. And then so now there's like less of those big catalysts coming. And so like I think given that as well, there's like less interest, right? Like we've seen this year, like if you look at VC funding this year, I think it's the same as in 2018 or something. Where like crypto wasn't even a thing, like it was barely, you know, it was super small. So yeah, I think, and then if you look at like different metrics, then like a lot of things aren't performing very well. I think someone like Memento posted like a token performance chart of all the gaming tokens, and they're all red.
Yeah.
So, and then people just assume because they're all red, like games not doing well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's some cool stuff going on for sure. There's a lot of like good teams building some cool things, but it seems like, yeah, we're still waiting for kind of the narrative and interest to shift back to gaming.
Yeah. So are we, but we need that. But I definitely think momentum is coming, specifically on Ronin. Obviously, I don't know how much you're aware of with Ronin's development, you know, with the Ronin profiles, those types of things, and like this reward systems that are on their way in some ways to be delivered. As a network, how firstly, you know, this will probably be a long-winded answer here, but firstly, like, what have you found to be beneficial and worked really well with being here on Ronin, like that transition to coming to Ronin? What has served you well here? And then, like, how do you feel about the evolution that is going to take place in terms of like gaming profiles and plugging into projects with that?
Yeah, I mean, so we launched in Ronin like 4 months ago. I mean, we're pretty new. Like we launched after Open Ronin.
I must say
So
though,
they're
like congratulations, because being here for 4 months, it already feels like you're a staple. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
amongst the lot
Still
of the
here.
noise. Yeah. No, but yeah, so congrats for 4 months. I didn't mean it like that. What I was like trying to get at is that it's been such a short amount of time, but like for me, it's almost like a household name because of how well the project's performed, right?
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. And so like I think we owe some of that success to Ronin as well. I feel like Ronin has a very fanatic community that really just believes in Ronin. And so it believes in the team. And so if the team shows support for a project, then the community rallies behind that a lot. And so I think that's like, and since we know the team, we've known the team for a while, they're also like, we're also working closely with them as a publishing partner, advisory partner as well. So like obviously they'll support us, and then that kind of rallies the community behind that as well. So that I think that is probably a big advantage for us, just because we have that support. And then specifically, like, you know, we meet with the team basically once every 2 weeks, and just like catch up, talk about, you know, what we're doing, ways that we can use help, ways that like we learn about what they're up to, and like ways that we can plug in and be involved. So yeah, I think there's some cool stuff happening behind the scenes. So I won't spoil it. So yeah, there's some cool stuff happening, and yeah, we're excited to be involved.
Absolutely. Well, Derek, bro, we've been, overly grateful to have you here on the show, man. It's always a place that I'd like you to feel comfortable to come and communicate with the community with things that you're pushing, and we always get some good conversations out of it. So thank you for making the time and being here today. I wondered if you had anything else you want to get out there. I know we're currently pushing a post from the Ronin Radio account with the referrals link, getting people through the door of Fishing Frenzy, but I give you the floor to basically sign off on things that are happening right now in Fishing Frenzy and why people should be getting back active with their rods.
Yeah, I mean, we have big plans for Fishing Frenzy, working on some really cool stuff. Today was pretty big, but we've got even more stuff coming, and so I think this is a good time to get involved. Just check it out. It takes 60 seconds to check it out. Really, really simple. We would encourage everyone to do that. So
yeah, absolutely. Early on the journey, a game that will continue to expand. And by the way, one of the top performing gaming NFTs this year as well, that Founders Pass. So it's never too late to get involved with this ecosystem and more experiences to come. Have fun, man. Let me know how your dives do, if you're enjoying the experience, and also feedback we'll read through towards the end of the show. But Derek, thank you so much. Thank you for coming through. And yeah, man, excited to see a lot more coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It was fun to chat. Happy to come back anytime.
Absolutely. Oh, the last thing I got asked, Derek. Oh, bro, how am I getting my hands on one of these? I need a froggo. I need one, bro.
I mean, so we're doing a frog for frog event last week.
Yeah.
Actually, where if you caught a frog in the game, you would go into the raffle to win a physical frog in real life. But yeah, I mean, we may give some away at physical events, or we may do some other stuff. So keep your eyes tuned. I'll let you know.
Okay.
We've got a few more banked up.
I need that frog. But no, thank you so much, bro. Much love, everyone. Shout out to Derek. Appreciate him for being here. And man, Fishing Frenzy is heating up. That's for sure. Thanks, Derek. We'll talk to you again soon, hopefully.
Cool. All right. Peace. See you guys later. Bye.
Peace, bro. Now I'm bullish, bro. The Fishing Frenzy manages to do this every now and then. In the short time that they've been here on Ronin, there was that one moment where I was locked in. I think it was the last event that they did, and catching the serpent fish and all that. I was locked in. I probably dumped maybe 300 to 400 RON into the game during that period.
Wow.
I think it was during one of those seasons. So, but the battle pass is there. It's live. If you want to join, I think it's 25 RON. So even today's prices, like $13 to get involved with the ecosystem and start leveling up. You've got to get to level 30. So if you're starting today, you need to be in there like swimwear. But yeah, man, solid conversations. I've really liked the AI convo too, and Derek's take on how that might affect the environment. I'm just bullish, bro. You know what we need to do? I should have asked Derek this. I said, yo, do me a favor. Plug me with whoever's at Treasure, because we need them on the show, bro.
Yeah.
We do. Should we, I see you in chat. You see that in chat?
What am I seeing in chat?
Kagi saying, invite me. You bring Kagi through for a little cameo?
Kagi. Yeah, go ahead. Get him on. Let's hear him. If he tells me one more thing about P2E, I'm gonna go bananas. I'm kidding. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I was kind of a little bit triggered earlier. I was thinking okay, so that's just a marketing strategy, right? If they're genuine about the whole AI gaming, AI whatever shit, they should have been yo, give me your 5 best players. I want them to create AI. I want them to do this. I want people to see what it's like to make an AI and make it play your game. Not give me your 5 creators. You know what I mean?
Bro, but no. We can talk about this. When you look at it, I mean, Kagi, this is a great conversation for Kagi to join into. But the creator angle for sure. Welcome, Kagi, by the way. It's referrals, bro. I think Trevor put it in there.
Well, that's what I said. Marketing. They only did it for marketing, so it's kind of disappointing to me. I
know what angle you're trying to take though, because you think people would be more desired to have a AI 1437 to play the game, right? You know what I mean?
If they actually asked me and were yo, man, can you build this? Can you do this? Can you work on this AI? Fuck it. Why not? If I'm getting paid to put my knowledge into an AI so somebody else can use it, I'll do it.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
it
hear you.
sounded
What's
good,
up,
sounded
man?
Yeah, I can hear me.
What's cooking?
I actually agree with you. I actually agree with when the AI conversation like a year ago, maybe like 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half when it started, kind of with ChatGPT and then AI, how it was going to be implemented in games and whatever. I remember having a conversation with somebody, and I said, "Imagine if Shroud, he's a fucking god, he was actually selling his stats, right, as AI, right?" And he was tweaking that AI little by little to play kind of like him. I think people would use it to compete in like AI tournaments in Counter Strike or whatever, or Call of Duty and stuff like that. So I do agree with you. But in his case, he's kind of like both content creator and actually came from being pro. Not that you're not, but you're less of like gaming content creator, which at some point you should probably like pick it up again when you
I'll
find
tell
it.
you this, by the way. When it comes
Yeah.
to AI, especially a game like when you talk about Shroud, he's not gonna be the best person to build you an AI because he's playing a shooting game, right? It's more so like actually his coach is more likely to be the best person to make the AI, right? Or like even a chess grandmaster is more likely to figure out something, right? Like it becomes more knowledge based than actually like what your physical capabilities become in regards to that too. But I understand like why he would make it and make it popular is because obviously he has attention, right, from the people. But if we're talking about like the raw value of like what an AI can give you, anyone who has a brain would use the one where it will give you the better outcome.
Absolutely.
I'm
My
gonna
my
say I don't
AI
think
is
there'll
gonna
be a
be dumb as
differentiator.
fuck.
Yeah,
It's like,
mine will deliberately not make ROI for you, bro. Like it would just make losses for you. But I don't think I'm gonna make a stance and think that I'm not confident that the agents will actually be that different. Like they arguably will run the same models. And it depends how the user experience is, whether the user actually has an interface with the AI, so it's actually the user's influence, and that it really the agent that they has is more of an IP thing than a technicality or a capacity, right? So
I agree. I agree, and also because it's a closed ecosystem, right? In terms of like how the AI is implemented. In this case, probably like in Fishing Frenzy or whatever. It's a closed ecosystem on both sides, on Fishing Frenzy and on the AI side. It's only going to allow you to do certain things until like basically Fishing Frenzy allows it to go, right? It's not like a free roam necessarily AI, like go into my game and do whatever you want. It's probably like enabling the Treasure DAO ecosystem to do certain tasks within the games. In reality, it's more like a bot rather than an AI, I think, right? That's what I think that's where you're getting at, right, Gila? Like
yeah,
it's more like
they'll all run off the same model, and it's really the user that owns the NFT that gives them access to the agent that defines how the agent performs.
But I did talk to the Treasure DAO team at some point. I think it was them, or we're talking about. I think it was them, and they told me like basically they have some crazy tech. Like they could basically play to earn in any game that they want right now. With the tech that they have, they can literally just like suck dry every single play to earn game, basically. In theory, right?
Yeah. But I'm just looking at this. This is their Notion, right? This is the Treasure Agent Creator Guide, which has been around for a little while. They have these 5 projects that are available to turn your NFT into an agent, and obviously this is all going through the utility case of the magic token. So genuinely right now, I think this is still like an early environment. Again, no financial advice on this in any way, but really a lot of the value all points towards this ecosystem then, because if this is going to be the go-to, because I feel like for AI to be implemented, there's going to be security measures around that, and then it's also going to be gate kept, right? So it's like who actually has the permission basis to plug those agents into experiences. And if it seems, Treasure are going around and collecting a lot of the projects, right? They partner with Abstract, they partner with Ronin. There's a bunch of projects on Ronin. There's stuff happening on Abstract too with Smallverse. Like, if they're going to be the one avenue that's first, at least to have this agentic approach to games, like, there's gonna be a lot of fucking value, even in the form of experimentation. It might not be that like this is it, this is absolutely the product. Like, you're gonna have shit ton of people experimenting, I feel, in this.
I'm more bullish on actual collections than creators. Even even though I am kind of like in that pool, of creators and stuff like that, but I'm more bullish on the collections, because that means that, let's put it in Moku terms, or even an Axie, but let's put a Moki on the Mokis, right? Right now, you might buy a really low price Moki, right? And if you put it to work in one of these platforms, and that Moki has a crazy strategy, thinking ahead, I'm thinking like a couple months ahead or a year ahead. If that Moki has a crazy strategy on multiple games, that Moki went from having a common fur, right, and being the shittiest Moki, to having the best stats across the AI ecosystem, and now it's like the top Moki, right? So like now you enter into a different realm of what is valuable for some of these NFTs. It's not only like the looks, or how rare it is based on looks and fur or whatever items they have in the metadata, right? So
this now comes back to what we talked about earlier, which is like, who's the one who trained the AI, right? Because that is way more important than anything else.
In the treasure one specifically, the features, the how you actually utilize it is you're in charge. You're the pilot.
Yeah.
So it is going to be user to user basis, and what becomes proprietary, what separates agents from agents is that's going to become a new meta game.
So two things, right? One, the way I see this evolving into, right, or for it to actually be successful, is one, you need to be able to stop a certain level of scraping from happening, right? So that they can't just take all the stuff you've inputted into an AI, take it and put it into their own AI, right? Like, there needs to be some way to protect that. Two, like, the knowledge of the AI stays with the NFT, right? So that whenever someone buys that NFT, now you have access to the thought process that was placed into that. So all that,
it's like a better version of AXP,
right? It's like all that knowledge that you would have had to scrape, that you want to scrape, you would have to actually buy that AI to do it, right? And I guess the third thing is, other people need to be able to use a copy of your AI, right, without obviously scraping it, but be able to ask questions and allow it to play the game for you while you get revenue back somehow, right? Those are the three things. If those three things can align, the true AI meta will begin. Like, it will not. It's not a joke. Like,
I think it's inevitable.
It will actually happen.
I think it's inevitable. I think the AI wave round 2 is going to be massive, and I think it actually uses gaming as a trampoline, because it's application implementation beyond fucking twats on X posting shit replies with double hyphens.
Bro, I'm so tired of it. Sometimes I think I'm talking to somebody that really wants to have a conversation with me, and then I click on it, and they're like, oh, Kaito creator, and I'm like, bro, I can't do this anymore.
Yep. They're getting more sophisticated, right? The way that they write and everything is starting to look like, oh, maybe this is a real person, but it's not.
And they're just trying to farm like yaps out of me because whatever. I have like some smart followers or some bullshit.
The worst is like when you're like about to respond to someone and you're like angry because like fuck you, you're like you're trying to respond, and then suddenly you realize like, wait, fucking AI, what am I doing? Delete the tweet. It stays in draft mode.
Forever draft mode, dude. Like,
I'm not gonna lie though, the AI shit is inevitable, bro. It actually, like, in gaming, it's inevitable. This is why I'm so confident on Moku and Grand Arena launching. But now knowing that like this treasure implementation has a shit ton of potential avenues that do, a lot of them reap success and rewards for those that are ahead of the curve, I just think it's inevitable. I think it's the only thing that's really interesting right now in the crypto gaming aspect is is this, because it facilitates the lack thereof, like a huge player volume basis as well. So I don't know. That's my stance. I think it's inevitable. Let us know what you think. Comment, chats, all that stuff. But I'm pretty solid on it. But Kagi, I wonder, bro, because you wanted to come through to the chat. Is it something to tie into the Fishing Frenzy conversation? Do you have something else to present to us here? I actually want to go down that avenue of talking about Mark of the Zeal, the narrative or the language spoken around that, talking about like gaming ETFs. I don't know if that's like way too big a stance to put on it, but like to just go through that.
Well, what they're doing is not anything new. That's how basically every gaming DAO, including YGG, raised money, right?
Yeah,
that's exactly what they did. YGG did it, and all these other DAOs. When we had the DAO run in 2021, where a bunch of DAOs, gaming guilds and DAOs and bullshit, they raised a shit ton of money and they didn't do anything with it. I think, for example, Bryson raised like $4 million or something like that. I don't know where that money went, but no, I'm serious. No, I mean, I don't know. $4 million. He did have partners at that moment. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that's how crazy it was. Like, people were raising money to buy game assets, and they got wrecked. A lot of them got wrecked. So I think it's an interesting idea, but it's very risky. It's very risky. For me, that's not like, it's cool. It's a cool idea, actually. Like he said, I think he talked about like, one of the coolest things that I have done or something like that. And I think it is cool as fuck, actually. But I don't think necessarily that it's going to turn out good, so.
Yeah. Well, raised over 525,000 RON to launch the Ronin NFT Vault. And yeah, they're basically going to be managing these assets. And soon they will have keys, and the keys access point to this new vault and reap the benefits. This new vault is separate from the Mark of the Zeal treasury, but Mark of the Zeal will be actively managing the assets. We'll release much more info about the keys in the coming days. But yeah, 1% supply of Moku, 1% supply of Fableborn, 2% supply of Pixieland, and 10 Axie Infinity land plots. All of these assets will be used, never idle. So yeah, I mean, he said the plan is simple. We take our immense experience in managing assets, community building, gaming at elite levels, and trading, and we scale it up. This isn't some idle vault. We actively manage everything, getting maximum yield and use out of each asset we buy.
Literally yield guild games.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, no, it's no joke. But I mean, what YGG did have done tremendously well from inception, right?
Yeah. It's a matter of, I think there is a business there. Of course there is. But given the fact that gaming is in this weird intersection where it doesn't know where it wants to go, where there is like a yield game, are we generating yield, or are we now just like going into these games and paying the developers? They can't really decide. I'm not really sure where we're going right now. It's like we want to go back into the Axie direction where let's fucking juice it. Let's, let's just generate a bunch of yield. Some games want to do that, and then some games are going the other direction where they're going to Web 2 and then buying their token back, but they're not really giving the token inside the game. It's like this weird thing going on. And I don't know. As long as he buys, and I think he did good buys there. I think Pixie it's like a risky buy because it's a new game. But I think, for example, Axie, Moki, what else did he buy there?
He's in
a lot. He's got Fableborn
as well.
Fableborn is good. Yeah.
But those are the main listed: Moku, Fableborn, Pixieland, and Axie Infinity.
Yeah. I think those are good buys, actually. I think they're decent buys, and I think Pixie is like maybe the most risky one, but that's good. 3 kind of secure buys. I mean, Axie generates yield. Fableborn has pretty good hype, and it has a pretty good team. They have funding, as far as I know. And then Moki, it's bullish as well. So maybe Pixie, being the newer one, is a good.
He has an NFT that's 2x already, and he bought a lot of it.
Yeah, but is he selling?
Oh, that's up to him, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that's where the management goes in, like, because everybody here has 5x, 10x, 2x, 3x.
In gaming, I don't know.
No,
I
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
haven't.
I mean, in 2021, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about today. Like
No,
last
no,
week. Like he
no.
bought 300 he bought 300 kitty tamers like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
And so that was, and they're like higher than like a 2x floor since then that he
that's
he
fair.
bought it.
That's fair. But you also got to understand these are NFTs, and if you buy, I'm not trying to like put this down, by the way. Okay.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, I'm just. You know how the NFT works. You know, like you buy all this stuff, you talk about it, and then it goes up. But how much liquidity is there out there for him to dump all of them right now?
Yeah, of course.
Is he 2x across the whole bag that he bought?
No, he's
you
not.
know what I mean?
But think
He
about
might
it this
sell
way, right?
one or two. Yeah.
So you run a guild, well, like Juice, I guess, like a team, right? You run
Yeah,
a team.
yeah.
You know what it's like, right? Like when you got these NFTs and you got these projects that you're buying into, it's not just about like, okay, can I get value out of these actual NFTs? It's more like these NFTs and what you buy is like a gateway sometimes to the team even, right? Sometimes to other opportunities, right? Sometimes contracts, right? And then some of these games, yeah, they have yield as well. So it's kind of also like a bet you're making that this is like the floor as is. So I think the more intriguing part is the timing of his execution more than anything else. Not like the concept, but the timing, right? People are betting like if they're gonna invest into what he's doing right now, it's actually when he's buying it, right? We're talking about Bryson when he bought 4 million. This guy top blasted, right? Like literally everything. Like of course that this looks retarded, but if you put 4 million into gaming today, you might even be able to buy the entire industry, for 4 million today, right?
Yeah.
But like it's a good bet though, right? The upside is really good. The downside is like maybe 50% of like your investment, right? The upside is like multiple X's today.
Yeah, I'm more. Yeah. That's fair. That is fair. That is fair. I guess like the way I see it, like personally, this is a personal level, not like from a fund, like a fund. If you're running a fund, you want to take multiple bets like that. But at a personal level, the way I've been able to kind of pinpoint who are the winners, starting with Axie, which I got a little bit lucky, and it was pretty easy to understand that this was going to be a winner. I mean, in hindsight, and then Pixels doing it again, and then now finding the next Pixels and Axie, like who is that? That's where like I rather double down on that, right? That's the way I kind of like go about things. If I see a game that is really bullish, then I rather double down, rather than do this wide strategy,
Yeah.
But in his case, it's different though. Like,
right. I think it's good for me at least. From what I'm seeing is like he's scaling, sort of say, right? He's scaling what his stuff is. He's the kingpin of Axie Land, right? Like his entire guild pretty much brings in 80 or 90% or whatever of like AXS from Axie Land, right?
Yeah.
So
no, that's crazy. Wait, that's crazy.
Wait, you didn't know this?
Yeah. They he's got that on lock for like the last years. So he knows how to handle that. So he's got an edge, sort of say, right, in that side of things, and he's just pressing on it. And that's what I like. What I'm interested in, we just briefly, went over it, is like we talked about YGG. Actually, I'm wondering, where is YGG? What happened to YGG, right?
YGG has a shit ton of money, probably still. I mean, they raised, look, YGG, if something I would give YGG is that they know how to raise money. They know how they did like a $5 million raise like a year ago on like Soulbound NFTs. Like the technology behind Soulbound or whatever.
That's crazy. Like we know what Soulbound is now. That's fucking nuts, bro.
It was like a bear market, bro. And this motherfuckers just raised $5 million or some shit like that on Soulbound. So YGG, you gotta
wait. That actually hurt my brain. What is?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No. You gotta think about it. It's like be a visionary for a second. Soulbound NFTs, bro. Like they are in your wallet forever. Like that's valuable. Probably
wait. How can an NFT be soulbound? Is my question. Like,
what do you mean, bro? It's a certain type of token that you can't trade or transfer.
There's no way that's a real thing, guys.
Yeah,
it is. What the fuck? Where have you been?
But it makes sense. It makes sense.
Where have you been?
If you get an achievement, but you want it on chain, why would you want it to trade?
Be traded, yeah. You didn't know Soulbound NFTs existed? God,
Yeah.
you know what, questions sometimes because you're so fucking smart, but sometimes you're just retarded. What do you mean
But
you didn't know what that is?
they do have a system for this, right? Like the YGG gap, like they did develop something around this. But my point is that they're like, the way that they can like erase money, you gotta give it to them. YGG is it's crazy. This
Like, you guys
motherfucker's
are actually trolling me, right? There's
No,
way.
bro.
No.
What the fuck, man?
No. Listen. What is that's just Web 2.
Wait. It's
Period.
not even 5. It's 13 million in 2023, middle of the bear market.
Yep.
And if you ask me, I don't know this about YGG. I don't know their numbers or whatever, but you could probably develop what they have right now, the Soulbound, because it is a good ecosystem what they have, where you can like go through games, earn these NFTs. This is good, actually. This is badges, basic badges on chain that actually gives you an identity on chain, and it allows teams to understand if you're an actual player. This is actually a good tech. This is basically
it's an identifier. Yeah, it's an identifier.
Yeah, the NFT, just hand them the fucking achievement into their wallet as a badge. It's not hard. What's the point? What Soulbound it?
Yeah, but then you have to connect with
Distribution.
games.
Distribution.
Look, I think it's an interesting idea, but my point from the beginning is like, I think that idea doesn't cost 13 million. It's probably an idea that you could do with like 200K, right? Like that's it. But 13 million, like this motherfucker sold them the
dream,
the universe,
Yeah. Bro, I'm underplaying everything. If you can raise 30 million for a Soulbound NFT, I'm underplaying something out here, bro.
Wait, let me show you. I gotta show you this. Let me share it. Because I think this is interesting. This is pretty interesting. Let me see. Let's share screen right here. How do I share? Let me see.
So somehow removing your right to do something with an NFT makes it more valuable?
Look, A16 crypto backs YGG's $13.8 million round to advance Soulbound tokens. YGG, a platform that rents NFTs for use in blockchain games, announced on Friday, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now you're going to make me pay? Fuck you.
No. Blue, I actually think it's the opposite. I actually think it's retarded, but that's okay. I'm running every simulation possible, and I just think like.
Well, think about it like this. Where we're going now, anyway, this is probably premature, and maybe they sold the idea really early. But where we're going now is there is going to be this identifier necessity across crypto, and the way that is probably scraped is by tracking tokens in wallets, right? And so having a Soulbound NFT, it basically is something that has been put in place already, that eventually when the identifiers are refined and they work and they have the distribution methods that they probably intend to utilize, they'll be able to identify certain wallets much faster because it's a token and they can't trade it. It's stuck there. So once you have it, like you have it, and no one else can go to a marketplace and buy it for a price. It's just the fact that you were there. But Trevor mentioned it, like POAPs, which is proof of attendance protocol. I don't know if the other P's protocol, but like, so I even thought about POAPs for Ronin Radio a year and a half ago, maybe even longer. Actually, it was like November 23. I had a conversation with G-Host and said, like, can we get POAPs on Ronin for Ronin Radio? So when people attend the Ronin Radio, they could sign a transaction and they would get a Soulbound NFT. So you could see how many Ronin Radio episodes a person has attended, which would be able to be a good distribution curation for us as Ronin Radio. Because if we got a big prize, well, you need more than 500 shows attended. We haven't even reached 500, but you know what I mean? So like, there isn't this.
You're telling me it's a data tracking tool.
Yeah, on
right?
chain. Yeah,
so
basically.
It's all on-chain data tracking tool. I mean, it doesn't need to be on-chain.
Yeah.
But it does. But it does, because if I am, let's say you're Pixels, you're not connected to YGG, but you value the work that YGG has done with other games, right? And you're like, you know what? Let me check if this person has the YGG season 1, season 2, season 3 gap, which is like their system,
and it means they've played a various match.
It's like a battle pass, right? It's like a battle pass. Let me see if they have completed all of this and played all these games. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna give a multiplier to the people that have done season 1, season 2, and season 3, because those are real gamers. And so now you don't even have to, you don't even have to.
I get
to
that, but
YGG,
like
right?
when in Dota 2, right? When someone opens my profile on Dota 2, they will see I bought Compendium from 2012, 2013, 2014.
Yeah, but they're not trying to send you tokens, brother.
Yeah, but Call of Duty can't reward you on that.
Why?
Because they're separate launchers. They don't communicate. They don't have a way
I know, but my profile has that. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it has that. It would make sense on Steam. Yes, on Steam it would make sense.
But if
Steam
the individual,
Steam has that, as a matter of fact. You have achievements on Steam, and people brag about this shit. Like, I have this many hours on this game, and blah blah blah. And developers look at this like, oh shit, we got players that are fucking like long term. They look at this, not necessarily reward you for it, but they can't do it on something like Steam because it's a centralized platform with a lot of players. So that makes sense. But in a world of blockchain, if I am playing on Ronin and then I go to Abstract, but you're using the same wallet, then how does the Abstract teams say, is this a valuable wallet? Maybe they can go on chain and check your wallet and see, maybe, oh shit, this guy has played on the YGG Gap. He has played Ronin games. He has played Arbitrum games.
So you're saying that like it cuts out you going to YGG and asking, hey man, what did this guy do? Versus like you just being able to just check it on, as you said, on chain, right? Whereas like what you're trying to tell me is like they don't have access to check your profile unless it's on chain.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, just like Kaito, these are systems that should be inherently implemented inside the game, right? For example, Axie with their own Soulbound, Fishing Frenzy with their own Soulbound, Pixels with their own Soulbound. Same thing with the Kaito thing, the yapping. Every game should have the yap inside their stuff. And then at the end of the day, you can check, oh shit, this person has Axie Soulbound, this person has Fishing Frenzy Soulbounds. This is a valuable user, right?
Yeah.
But the Soulbound
came. I see that.
The Soulbound came.
I see what you're talking about.
Before the infrastructure of like all the experience that it condones that you've done is kind of in place. So people aren't utilizing Soulbounds yet. But even where the Soulbound is, it's meant to plug into the next phase.
Is it free?
It's not done. I mean, most of them are, you like complete, like for example, it's not free essentially, because if you take part in the YGG Gap, you might be spending some funds in those games.
No, I mean, like, is the Soulbound NFT free?
Yeah, it's a free mint.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, no. That then I like it. It makes sense.
Yeah, and
I see. Okay, I got there, guys. Listen, I'm a little slow.
No, it's fine. And every guild. And every guild should have their own Soulbound system if they're like a serious guild. Let's talk about like Web 2, like FaZe Clan. Like, how do you reward your users that are your fans in FaZe Clan? You can't. These people don't have any system.
I wouldn't use it personally, right? But I can see how it's a good tool for like all those people when you're trying to get mass, right? Like, I'm the person who likes to protect my privacy if I can, which is a funny thing to say because I'm 100% doxed for like 15 years now, but I still like I ain't trying to show what games I'm playing, right? Like I'm the person who like on Steam I'm offline, right? Or on Discord you can't see what activities I'm doing. Like I don't want you to know like what I'm looking at or where I'm playing, right? So
you're at like serious conflict with actually where I think an aspect of this industry is heading towards. And there's this narrative right now where it's like Web 2 applications, there's a mirage that happens where you utilize them, you don't own your data, and your data gets sold on for value, and you have no possession over that. And a lot of this industry and many participants in this industry see a value clause of you actually collect your data. It will be in the form of these things like Soulbound NFTs, etc., and your activity on chain and your holdings, etc. But you'll own that, you'll own your actions, and then you'll be. There won't be an intermediary between that, where like, oh, Instagram is selling my data to the marketing company that's paying for it. Instead, you'll actually be the direct point of selling your own data. So, data collection, I don't think has a great sentiment around it when we think about like our data is being sold. Like that's very negative and like conflicting when you say things like that. But I think at some phase of this industry's evolution in the next 5 to 10 years, like people will actually start to value their own data and want to collect it. Like they'll want the proof of their own data that they own it, and soulbound NFTs are an aspect of that.
Yeah, I don't think this industry solves data.
No.
Owning your data, that's a complete.
But they're gonna do it, Kagi. Marketing, they're gonna do it.
No, but I'll give you a point to that. The good point of this is that you can prove that you have done stuff, right? Like if I go on Instagram or other applications, it's hard to prove, from application to application that I am, like a gamer that plays 200 hours in X or Y game. You have to like take a screenshot and like, look, I'm the, so that does help with you letting people know and letting applications know, like, hey, look, I have this amount of hours in Call of Duty and Dota and blah, blah, blah. I'm a valuable player. So it does help you. But at the same time, apps don't need to ask permission to anybody. They just got to look on chain and grab your data and say, this is a valuable player, and just target you and send you stuff to your wallet. Mm-hmm. And that's already happening. I was looking at my OpenSea account like yesterday, and I have a bunch of like NFTs that I don't even want. I'm like, where the fuck does this come from? Mm-hmm. And these are like ads. It's crazy, bro. So the ad industry is going to get even worse with crypto, and now they don't even have to buy the data. They can just go on chain and see who's valuable. So I don't know.
I get it. I just hate it. Like, I mean, I just because like, I don't like the concept of like people just knowing what the fuck you're doing, like it just doesn't. Yeah, I'm open to like building in the open, but like I don't want like my private time. Gaming for me is like my private time. You know what I mean? If I want you to know what I'm playing, I'll go stream, right? But like other shit, let's keep it. Let me at least have some of it. If that's where we're headed to, it's okay though, because some other people are gonna opt in because it's worth like you said, giving that data because they can get something in return. Yeah. I don't see whales doing this. I don't see people who are like, yo, I'm fine, I do well and I do decent in life, like being like, yo, I want to share all my data online. Like I can't see that happening.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a norm that people have aliases and varying accounts. Like that's just going to be an industry norm or a user norm. So. But yeah, man, interesting. I'm glad you brought that up because it sparked that. But yeah, I mean, if YGG can raise 13 million off of a soulbound NFT, mate, then like, yeah, whoever's doing their raises and market or communications, he's goated, man. Whoever or she's goated.
Wait, well, what was it that... Go ahead.
No, they have the name. They have the name in terms of like, I don't think at this point it's not that hard for them, right? Like it's not that hard because they have delivered to a certain extent. They have delivered a lot for the industry, whether you like them or not, or whether you think some of the things, whatever. They have delivered. They have delivered players. They have delivered community events in person. They have done so much. At times, I think YGG has shot too many shots in too many directions. Esports, in-person events, the soulbound thing. If I was running YGG, I would probably not be going into so many directions. But at the same time, they brought a lot of stuff to the crypto gaming industry. So it's pretty easy for them to go out there and say, hey, look, we're thinking of doing this new thing. Take a bet on us, So
yeah. Shout out to YGG, bro. We'll see if we can get Gabby on the show at some point and have a conversation with him too. But yeah, I mean, circling back to where this all started, it's obviously about the Mark of the Zeal stance and them having assets that are being put to work and yielding, and you having a piece of that pie. So if you haven't got a Mark of the Zeal founders coin, I think the floor has been like rising over the last few weeks because of this movement, and obviously that's going to be your access or key at least to get involved. I don't know if they're actually going to make another NFT that is a key, or do you use the NFT, the founders coin, to unlock the key. So interesting to see how that happens. It will like even product delivery. And yeah, so you got to keep your eyes peeled to Mark Azil. I'll message Caro, we'll see if we can get him on the show as well and see get it from the horse's mouth, right? So but yeah, anything else going on, Kagi? What are you up to recently? What's your focuses right now?
Yeah, I'm still looking. I'm looking for that hit game. I'll know when I find it. I think I have a pretty good idea of, like, if you see me playing the game over and over and over and over and pushing it, I think I found I think I found the formula. I don't think we have, it might sound bearish, but I don't think we have a game right now. And I love, by the way, what's it called? The MMORPG Cambria. I love Cambria. Like, I like the look and everything. I personally didn't like the feel of the game as a gamer. It's too slow and clumsy. Like, it's like you click and then you're fighting and then you're like, it doesn't feel like you're like, battling fast. There's no fast pace, and I personally didn't like that, and that's why I don't play that much Cambria. But it is a bullish game on Ronin, so it is a breakout game on Ronin and Abstract, both on both chains. But I'm looking for that next one. I think, in my opinion, right now, Play Calamity looks very, very nice. It's like a little bit more fast paced than Cambria. Yeah. And I think it has a great potential. I just want
the
to see
dungeons are actually fun to play, bro. Like, it's like Warden Zombies in World at War, mate. Like, I played it on stream a few months back, and I never got fully involved in the ecosystem because the NFTs were like, I was like, I'm not about to spend that right now. But now they've gone up even more, so probably should have back then. But yeah, they've actually launched a lot of cool stuff, and they're on Steam as well, so they're making moves.
Yeah, so I think that, for example, that's one of those games I tweeted today, and I said, like, Ronin should be locking these games down. We can't allow those games that are good to go to other chains, because Ronin not necessarily is giving them the, I don't know the details, if Ronin is actually supporting or giving them money or not, but like, it doesn't look like it. They're not even verified on the Ronin marketplace. It's like, bro, like, this is a good game. Lock it down before they go to another chain because they need money, and they offer them $100,000-$200,000 to go to another chain or some bullshit. And now we lost a good game where we can all have fun, and I feel like people love this game. I'm not the only one, so I see something here. What I will say is that we have to wait for the Play to Earn and Play to Airdrop campaign to happen to see how exactly that plays out. Okay, that's very important. So if Ronin is waiting for that, and they want to see how this kind of like goes, how they handle the Play to Earn aspect. If they want to wait for that, I kind of like agree with them. Like, you have to wait.
But they should communicate that though. I think you have to show hand, right? But yeah, Juice just got some in-game stuff. Play Calamity.
I could drop the game right here. Don't break the game, bro. Don't break the game.
I mean, is there earning potential in the game as of right now?
Yeah, right now in a couple of days. Yeah.
In a couple of days.
Okay. In a couple of days, they're gonna activate the Play to Airdrop campaign, and I just made a video on YouTube. If you want to like learn like all the details and stuff.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it. There's so many games I went to your YouTube to watch you play it and to know whether I want to play it or not. Because like, I thank you for that, by the way, for opening the game and playing for us. Because one thing that actually gets on my nerves is like, I fucking go onto like some of these Twitter's accounts. Why the fuck don't they have their games pinned to their fucking posts? Like, are they not proud of what they're building? Like, that's what I think. I think they're not proud of what they're building, or they don't think it's polished enough for them to put it as their pinned post to showcase what they got.
I think it goes like, there's a few things going on. One, marketing. The marketing department, if they have a marketing person, they have no fucking clue what they're doing, right? That's number one. And then on the other side, devs don't have the time for anything to understand. You would think that they understand this, and they don't. They
or
just
play
don't.
their own game, by the way, or play their own game. They just they're actually on spreadsheets, right? Essentially, they're playing the game through spreadsheets. They don't actually play the game.
yeah, many of them don't play the game. They don't understand, and there's a mix of everything. And I think part of it is they're not proud of what they're building too, or not yet. They're still not at the level that they want to showcase or whatever. I think there's a mix of everything there for sure.
Yeah.
But
Imagine scrolling like 10 pages just to fucking find one clip of like the actual game, right? So you actually do a big service for people when like you go on your YouTube channel, you make the games, and I get to watch it, and they should pin your fucking posts, honestly. Like,
yeah, oh man, the battle, bro. I just made a video the other day. I'm not gonna mention the game, but bro, I made a YouTube video, and there's no YouTube video on this game. Number one, all the retweets that they have on Twitter is some people saying, "I love this game," a retweet. I'm like, okay, I do a video, passes like a day, and I'm like, bro, do these people like not understand content? Like what is happening? Like, I don't, you know what? I don't even care that you retweet me or not. It's not really that. It's like, it pisses me off that when these games are like all craving for content, you give them the content and it's like, bro, you have content right there. Retweet it. Show that your game is being played. Show that people are making tutorials. This is good for you. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even matter if you like me or not. I don't really know the dev, but let's just say he doesn't like me. It doesn't really matter, bro. At the end of the day, you're retweeting something, and it's what you're saying to your audience is like, hey, there's people creating content on my game. You guys should too. You guys should play it because somebody's creating content. So it's like, bro, I can't.
Yeah. No. That one eludes me, mate. If you're making content on a game and they don't back the content, or even if it's a project or a protocol or whatever it might be, then there's
and I promise you it doesn't matter, because most of my viewers come from Google search. Literally 55% of my views.
I'd actually be interested to see your data, like the data of like how it flows for you.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's from Google on YouTube search, or like browse features. Like, there's a good percentage from Twitter, like 15%, but most of it is everywhere else.
Yeah.
So,
well, Kagi, bro, we've been live for about to be 2 hours, so you got like 30 seconds before I rug this bitch. Anything else you want to drop?
Yeah. I just wanted to respond to Trevor. He said cross-chain. I'm bullish on cross-chain. That's good. Different liquidities. So, yeah. Nothing else, bro. I love being here.
Let's fucking go. All right, all of you can fuck off now. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Ronin Radio today. We appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Derek. We got what we needed. We spoke about Fishing Frenzy. I'm actually excited about the agent plugin too, see how that goes. But of course, go try out the new game mode. Dive in is live. Is this the new meta? Risk to earn is not risk to earn. It's just play, bro. Just play the fucking game. It's that simple. And yeah, mate, we'll catch you next week. We got some interesting guest potentials now, though. I want to speak to Treasure. I'd like to speak with Gabby Dizon. Let's see if we can get Cairo here in the building. We haven't spoke with G-Host this month live on the show other than in the space, and it was very short and brief, so maybe we'll see what happens there. Ronin 2.0, where? Is it soon? We don't know. If that happens, I am going to be on the phone constantly to try and get Psych out here in the building too as well. So this month still yet to heat up. But
wait, actually Town Hall tomorrow, right?
Oh, it is? Okay.
Oh, they're going to give an update about Tia's Legacy. Remember what I said last week or last stream, Gila?
Yeah.
Let's see.
You should go live.
Okay, yeah.
You should go live on this. We should go live on this on top of the Town Hall tomorrow.
While they're doing it, we listen in on stream.
Yeah.
Shit.
Let's do it. I'll join.
Live reacts.
I was gonna react by myself, but I'd rather do it with you guys.
No, let's do it.
Live
what time
react.
is it here? 11 a.m. East EST. Oh, I can do that. Yeah, that's like 4:30.
Tia's gonna say it's delayed, and we're gonna be like, oh no! We're gonna all have our hands on our heads. No shot. Well, we'll see. Yeah, make sure you're there for that tomorrow if you are a faithful. It is what it is, bro. But last and not least, wait. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Steven. I didn't mean to do that. Don't worry, bro. I know he gets pissed. He gets so pissed when I put him up solo. All right, no, lads and ladies, thank you so much for tuning in today. It's been fun. It's been real. Lots of things happening. I'm serious. Thank you, Kagi, too, for coming through. We love you. Next week, we'll be back.
Peace. I'm also going to say this before I end the stream today. If Treasure don't put my fucking dumb ass on an AI agent, there's going to be war in the streets, bro. So let's try to see if we can bring them on and convince them. So that's actually top of my list, bro. Treasure needs to come on the Ronin Radio. It's a must. And on that note, fucking goodbye.